I think it's a major threat because democracy is based on the idea that people make informed choices between political options.
The first step should be that they are aware of that the threat exists, that there are actually people out there trying to fool us, trying to lie to us, trying to affect our opinions on different matters. And being aware of these techniques is a very good start.
The first thing you gotta worry about is whether a person who's sending you information is actually who they pretend to be. And it turns out that very often, on Twitter at least, a lot of accounts are fake. They don't even exist. They're not real people. They're just out there for propaganda purposes. And now, fortunately, they're actually fairly easy to identify, because if somebody is tweeting 20,000 tweets a day, then chances are they're not a human being. Chances are that they're a remote-controlled device that is trying to disseminate propaganda.
One motive could be to sow division, to make it look like opposing views on an issue are very far apart. And of course, if these views are perceived as being very far apart, it's much harder for us to reach agreements and to move forward and solve these issues.
It is aiming to drive us apart and to make society more polarized and less reasoned in its decision-making.
Many of these things are designed to evoke emotions. So one basic rule could be, if you see something online and that makes you furious, for example, then all the more reason to check the source and check if this is actually true or not.
So check yourself and see what your emotional response is. And chances are that over-the-top emotive information was probably not sent to you for good faith purposes. Inoculation is just like an inoculation against the flu or measles or whatever else. You're exposed ahead of time to a small dose of the disinformation by someone pointing out to you how you're being disinformed. And then once you understand the strategies that people use to disinform you, then you can spot it and then you can resist.
You have to be aware that there are people trying to deceive us on purpose. They have lots of resources and they're very, very creative. So if we're fooled once or twice, there's nothing strange about that. But what we can do is to warn others. When we find out that something is fake or that something is disinformation, don't spread it, don't click on it, don't engage with it.
Democracy is based on the idea of a marketplace of ideas. That is, we're out there talking to each other in public, and the debate sorts out the good ideas from the bad ideas. But if the ideas are sent to people in darkness, without scrutiny, without rebuttal, then you no longer have a marketplace of ideas. Then you have manipulation on a large scale. I don't know, but I can tell that it is a motive. So if it is a motive, why don't we just make it a little harder to share it? How about it takes 2 seconds for the share button to become available and you have to look at a swirly thing on the screen for 2 seconds. You can cancel any time, and if you do want to share it, you just got to wait. Don't share it. Do not click share. Do not share stuff unless you know it's true.